That thing.
Forgot his teeth.
Okay, Tuesday. Today we pulled out the Bank 2 cam sensors. That job never fails. It's so much fun. This time actually wasn't that bad. I'm gonna try a different view as I ascend up into 3-degree warmer air. Cam sensors came out. Customer states that he had them replaced 3 or 4 years ago, and both sensors in cylinder bank number 2, both inlet and exhaust, are dated November of 99, which is consistent with the build date of the car. So he's either incorrect, or they screwed him, or they somehow found 20-year-old sensors to put in. Anyways, the O-rings on those sensors were completely flat, 0.4 millimeters of a difference. Doesn't sound like much. When you're talking about something that's only 2.4 millimeters thick in the first place, that's quite a bit. So that's why they were leaking. The valve covers are dry, not a problem there. But we did remove the intake manifold, the plenum, the velocity stacks, air boxes, stuff like that. So we're actually able to do that inside of about 2 hours once the plenum's off. But with all 4 sensors being original, customer said, let's just, you know what, 168K on a 2000, let's replace all 4 of them. We made the order today. They will be in on Friday. So we'll get new cam sensors times 4, and then obviously new O-rings. Per the MPI, I noted months ago that he has standard E39 kidney grills, not the ones with the chrome slats in the front. So we said, well, the car's there, let's do the grills. We'll put the right M5 grills back in it. And then the power steering reservoir bushings are sagging, so we're going to replace those as well. So it turns into a nice little service here. So that was the first part of the day. Otherwise, a lot of time on the frozen gray M5 today. Flywheel went on yesterday. The clutch kit went on today. The transmission went on today. That's all bolted in and torqued to spec. And then just recently here we started wiring, and we've made a ton of progress actually in just about an hour and a half. We got the yaw sensor wired. Really, we're doing a much better job of pulling stuff out of the SMG connectors here and then fishing it through all of this tape, which, side note, this 2010 has the worst condition tape. It's all just falling apart and none of it's sticky anymore. The 05 or the 06, 05 build date cars, even my 20-year-old car, that stuff's super sticky and still largely together. But it seems like the newer the car, the worse it is. Maybe they had to change the formula for environmental concerns or something. But pulling all the wires down out of that, and then we still have to join them, so there's still going to be crimps. But this is the exact same wire here that we took out, and then I just crimped a different pin on it to put in the DME connector. So just cleaner work. We joined the X60005 plug up here. There's a lot of grounds, so I'm just labeling the grounds. This is temp sensor ground, and it's this orange wire that will join all the grounds together, and then probably rob one of these wires here for this grounding block, or put an eyelet. I don't want to go outside the box, but we'll get everything grounded and make everything nice and tight. So the yaw sensor wiring's done, the secondary RPM sensor's done, wired up one more today, I can't remember which. Now tomorrow we're going to dig into the neutral sensor and the reverse sensor, and that's a little bit more complicated. For the reverse sensor, we've got to go inside the cabin, connect other stuff there, and then run it over to the LMA, which is in the footwell. Tomorrow's going to be pedal day for Mike. That's his favorite day of the whole conversion. We're ready to put the glove box back in since that wiring's done. But clutch pedal will go in tomorrow, and the clutch position sensor. We tried to start it today, but it's already coded to manual, so it's looking for a clutch switch that just isn't there, and that's why it's not cranking. I could tell it not to look for a clutch switch, but we don't need to start it right now. That's fine. Mike also worked on the oil scavenge pump seals today, drained the oil out, replaced the scavenge pump O-rings, put all that back together. That seems to be a really common thing we're doing on both E39s and E60s now, but more so E60s. The design is slightly improved, seemingly, but they don't seem to hold up as well, or this engine just runs hotter. I don't know. Not really, it's the same thermostat, but the oil temperature definitely stays warmer. With the throttle in my dad's car, I started it again today, cleared the codes. Now they don't return. Throttle seems to be fine. When going through the test, it shows 100% with the throttle pedal matted. So we've ordered one anyways. This doesn't seem like the kind of problem that just comes up once and then never returns. It's probably going to be more and more intermittent, and I don't want to get stuck somewhere and only have access to half throttle, because this car needs more than that to really be fun. So that's on the way. Somehow that pedal, the manual gearbox E60 M5 and E63/4 M6, is a day away. Yet I order bolts from places that take 6 days, just normal little bolts. So go figure on that. We got our brackets back today. They were a little too small yesterday. They said bring them back. They apologized and they widened them out very well. Looks like they didn't just drill them, they put them back in the machine. So now our plugs fit in there very nicely. So we'll be able to put some O-rings on this. And guess what? So I ordered 10 of those bolts about 2.5 weeks ago. Yeah, they're in Germany. So we should have those in another week or so. But there's nothing terribly special about the bolt. It just needs to be the right thread count and length. BMW used a Torx. I can probably find a hex that'll fit in there just fine. So we're almost ready to get that stuff back together. I did a shit ton of administrative work today, invoicing, ordering parts, talking to customers about what's next. LMA is coming Thursday, as I said. We're going to do a basic safety MPI. He kind of changed the work scope and said, I don't need you to spend time, waste your time and mine on cosmetics. I can see the car. I know that the rear window seal condition is bad, that the tint and the shadow line trim needs attention. Get it up in the air, look at the brakes, look at the suspension, look at the engine, scan the codes, and give me a better idea there. So I think that makes more sense. Replace the beauty cover cap on the 530, the blue one, that thing up on top of the engine. And the ones that you're getting from BMW now have this extra little plastic nib that prevents them from snapping down into the engine beauty cover thing with the stripes on it. So I have to take a grinder wheel to it and just grind that little nib off, and then it fits in just fine. So that's a little bit obnoxious. And that's it. I'm gonna go visit my inbox again for a little bit and then try to head home before it gets too dark tonight. It's been a beautiful day up here, a little warm, but just gorgeous, gorgeous clear. And they are not working with huge heavy equipment over there today, which I'm happy about. That was so annoying yesterday.